Yours would be the guy on your
how long
leader of your entire movement.
If someone attacked a cop, how long should they go to jail for?
I don't know. A while?
What's a while?
Totally
4 years.
Totally depends on the details of the assault.
Okay, so they took a cop's shield from him and bashed him on the head with it.
I'm not going to give you a specific answer. I would have to look into the guidelines prosecutorially. I'd have to look at other cases.
So then you literally have no opinion on Trump's pardons then?
What?
What?
I'm saying that Trump
is pardoning people on January 6th who were violent and attacked cops.
Yep. And
Mate, it's so funny these guys pretend to care about like the law and shit like that. When you are rioting and when you're involved in, or like a riot that involves trying to subvert the fucking political process and the peaceful transfer of power, they're not just accounting for your individual act in isolation. They're not doing that. They're thinking of you as part of something that was greater than the sum of its parts. They're thinking of you as part of a riot, of a social movement. So that's why, since the dawn of time, basically, or since the dawn of policing at least, when it comes to rioting and social unrest, rioters are dealt with disproportionately to their individual actions, because the idea is that you want to set an example of them. You want to make sure that the wind is taken out of the sails, and you want to be able to prosecute these as quickly and as harshly as possible to kill the momentum of the movement and to not let it happen again. That's why with the left-wing rioters in 2011 in London, Keir Starmer came down on them like a ton of bricks. That's why he did the same thing for the anti-immigrant rioters in the UK just recently. Same person, same guy. He was a prosecutor in 2011. Using the same strategy. So naturally, if you bash a cop on the head with a shield, whilst you're trying to overthrow the fucking government, then yeah, they're probably going to take that second part into account as well.
And some of them...
They've been in jail for 3 years.
Okay.
How long should they be in prison for?
Yeah, I'd have to look at the individual cases. Some of them wanted to overthrow the government, so that would add...
That would mean you're neutral on Trump's pardon then?
No, because I think that the prosecutors who brought these cases, then brought them in front of a jury and got convictions, should be respected. Just like how I don't think that Biden should have pardoned his son. And even though these cases are far more serious, but I think those outcomes should be respected because I respect the justice.
More serious than.
And so my point is this: if you don't have a thought on how long they should be in prison, it's fine to
this
say.
Is what you do a lot. Though?
It's fine to say
like
if we don't know how the
Tim Pool's entire strategy is Tim Pool is a debate bro. It's just to ask you for a very hyper-specific answer to hope that you'll probably say something less than what they were given. That's why he just said someone who attacks a cop. He wanted to keep it vague, first of all, to not bring out the context of January 6th, because he's hoping that he'll say a low answer that is much lower than, or maybe multitudes lower than January 6th. Yeah, he's a debate bro. He is everything that like when left-wingers call me a debate bro, this is what they're thinking of. They're thinking of these strategies. Yeah.
Your argument fails. You're just going to ask hyper-specific, slightly irrelevant questions to me.
How is it irrelevant?
Because I don't think it's relevant for me to figure out, because I didn't sit in these courtrooms and listen to the details of every case, exactly how long each one should be.
How could you advocate for someone to be in jail if you don't know?
Well, I can tell you.
Because we say this for every fucking criminal, Tim. How long do you think people should have been jailed for after the Nuremberg trials? Or how long do you think people should have been jailed for after fucking BLM? What, because you don't know the exact fucking answer? How long do you think this person, Stephen, who committed a rape 8 years ago, how long do you think they should be in jail for? Huh? Tim? Oh, so you have no opinion. Oh, so you're neutral on whether or not people get jailed for raping. Huh? Tim, come on.
Trump is saying we should subvert that process because he thinks what they did was patriotic and should then pardon them.
Yeah, probably longer than Trump
Has he
thinks.
specifically said it was patriotic to do that?
Yeah, he
he
slurs
did.
to that song they sang every single
Well,
rally.
like, is there a quote where Trump said that January 6th, people who attacked cops was patriotic? I genuinely
Because I want to be fully honest, I will say I'm almost 100% certain he said that at some point.
that the people who attacked the police and were violent were acting patriotic.
Not in that order, but that the
I'm paraphrasing. I'm saying
January
like in
6th, yeah, defendant, and then as we
Did
dive
they
more
say those
specific-
exact words? I believe they were. Come on, Tim. He's so mad. He's so angry that he got caught being a fucking stooge for Russia. Allegedly by complete accident, just no questions asked, just a total fool, just walking into the wall, just walking face first on a rake that is on its own in the middle of a field that's surrounded by signs saying, be careful, there's a rake over here.
specifically into that.
I think if you're on the left or the right and you attack a cop, depending on the severity of the attack, like if we're talking about you're at a riot and you punch a cop or shove them, 6 months to a year is probably good.
NPR just reported on the 12th.
6 months to a year for attacking a cop? And what? Okay.
that President Biden commutes a sentence for 1,500 people. Some say he could do a lot more. 1,500 people.
No, but he already said that was wrong. That's fine.
No, not all of those. I was saying Hunter Biden.
Luke, do you feel as though more Democrats were willing to justify the BLM riots than Republican elected officials were to condemn January 6th?
Nope. You fucking idiot. What are you talking about? Like, Democrats disavowed BLM right, left, and center. Okay? And the BLM riots were a spontaneous response to literally a black guy who got murdered in the fucking street. And everyone saw it on camera. Trump created the inspiration for January 6th out of thin air. It was out of nothing, apart from the fact that he lost an election and wasn't happy about it.
Well, interestingly, a lot of I will answer the left wing in a second, but a lot of the Republican politicians just changed their position. So initially, it was like unanimously that was bad. Now, almost all of them apologize for what happened that day. And we all, as I was explaining one of the times here, we all missed the broader danger of trying to block the peaceful transfer of power that led up. January 6th wasn't the whole thing. That was the ending, and that was more individuals. But Trump's effort to prevent Biden from coming to office is what I really take issue with. But no, now a bunch of Republicans apologize for it, which is terrible. And then Democrats.
No, but the question was specifically for the Democrats.
And then I couldn't tell you.
Any Democrats who were
my guess would be
BLM writ large.
that more Republicans have apologized for the violence on January 6th than Democrats. But let me get to the caveat. Then Democrats who apologized for violence during BLM, very limited. They would all say violence is bad, but the cause was.
It's the voice of the unheard, like MLK. Remember?
But then I'd get to. I think it's a fair criticism to say maybe some were too quiet about the violence. Like none of them were out there saying this is fine.
Well,
Yes,
they were taking a knee. They were taking a knee. Many of them, Nancy Pelosi and some Democrats.
That's because there were protests. Those were peaceful protests. You fucking idiot. That you aren't taking the knee doesn't mean you support rioting. Oh God. Okay, so wait, it's like a 3-on-1 now, isn't it? Why does Tim do this? Why does he have to assemble a fucking posse to debate this? Like, let's face it, Luke is like, how old is he? Like 8, 9? This guy's not.
Like
and they
would show up to a peaceful protest, and then as a part of that, people would be exploiting.
Maxine Waters with the whole, you have to go find them in restaurants and you have to get up in their face.
Like that's not direct violence, but that's
encouraging.
Here's two phrases for you. Well. Respect the diversity of tactics, and snitches
Keep bringing that up.
And snitches get stitches.
What? Okay.
No, but then Kamala Harris also was posting a bail fund for BLM rioters.
Yeah, a bail after. Oh, are we going to mention that she condemned the riots? Are we going to mention that she unequivocally opposed rioting and condemned it? Cash bail. If someone's getting bail, it's not because Kamala gave money, right? If someone gets bail, it's because a judge said you're eligible for bail. Like you are not deemed threatening enough to not get bail.
And
it's just weird. Y'all are the ones supporting the politicians who say this, like Trump.
Say what?
Who justify violence?
Why did Trump justify violence?
I thought we just went through that.
We didn't. I asked you for examples, and you said, I don't know. Don't just squint at me. Tell me what you think.
No,
It's like whenever you don't have an answer, you just get confused and say, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm genuinely confused.
Okay, let's try this
listening
again.
to me because
I am,
obviously, if
I ask you a question and you just don't answer, and then you go sophistry.
Because I only speak
ad hominem.
I only speak on. I haven't done ad hominem.
Where's the ad hominem? Did Tim Pool just try to think of a debate bro word? Sophistry. Ad hominem. Tu quo que. Beg of the question. It's just, he's just saying words. He's just saying random fucking words, Tim. God.
Hominem.
All
guy's
you're
just
doing is saying,
my
you
guy
do this,
now,
you
my
do that,
ally.
you do this. You're not actually giving me substance.
That's not an ad hominem, Tim. Oh my God. You think if you tighten that beanie just a little bit more, you'll start to see fucking bits of brain falling out of his ears. What's left of it.
I was just shocked that you didn't listen to my substance earlier. But so the January 6th, while I'm only going to speak on things I'm very informed on, so I'm not going to tell you exactly to the month that they should get. I do respect the fact that they were prosecuted in a court of law, and I don't think Trump to send a message to his base that what happened on January 6th was good, which is why he would do such a pardon, should be pardoning folks who were violent. Or
I think 3 years is long enough.
Yeah, and that's a wrong stance, but okay.
How is it wrong?
I just explained it to you.
No. You didn't. You said the court process should play out the way it is. My opinion on the amount of time should be served for a crime is not just wrong because you like courts.
No, I get
You
that.
need to explain
I'm saying
why the time frame I'm asserting should be longer than 3 years.
Kill Hillsbrad humans for their skulls. Holy shit. Look at this quest. I have to take their skulls? Based. This is barbaric. I'm scalping farmers.
No, I'm saying the default.
I'm a very dangerous
You have to
man.
have overwhelming, compelling evidence that someone has been wronged
Fuck!
to justify a president stepping in and saying, I'm subverting the justice system outcome. Do you agree with that premise?
No.
That's immoral.
So you're making a fascist argument.
A fascist argument?
You are making the fascist argument that the hierarchical structure of government is just and should be upheld regardless.
Why? Okay, I'm not going to ask that. This is
Right, and so the system we have is...
I'm just not loving, and this is a way of celebrating violence, that Trump is celebrating those as far as a pardon and in his rhetoric and in his national anthem thingy, people who attacked the Capitol. Why did they attack it? Because they believed lies about the election.
There's a variety of reasons why people were violent on January 6th. Largely that they
We're incited by the FBI.
believe
You
the
could
election
just
was
be like, hey,
stolen.
that's bad. You don't have to keep going.
Well, I've called for their arrest and prosecution. Like this is not a shock to my audience.
My reporting is responsible for the arrest of a couple of January
My point
6th
is
rioters.
that if you've got somebody on a misdemeanor charge who's been held without trial, a pardon makes perfect sense, unless you're a fascist, and the system is just. So it's like Benjamin Franklin, who said it is better that 100 guilty persons escape than one innocent person suffer. You've taken the Otto von Bismarck approach of it is better that 10 innocent people suffer than one guilty person escape.
No.
Yeah.
How does the justice system work, Tim? The justice system puts mostly guilty people in jail knowing that probabilistically some of them are going to be fucking innocent. Don't they do that? This happens with the death penalty. Fuck me. That's one of the best arguments against the death penalty because you can't reverse it if it goes wrong.
Well, okay, you have.
No,
right?
I
So
haven't.
You, so
The people
no,
that
no,
you
stop,
talk
stop.
about-
You don't know
Stop,
anything
stop.
about these January 6 cases. You don't know why these people are in jail. You don't know that a man is in Brooklyn right now for 3 years without charge or trial. And when Donald Trump says these people have been held for too long, you say, no, Trump is wrong. Keep them locked up. That's fucking fascist.
Fucking fashion.
Dude. You've been sitting here with no knowledge of the specifics of some of these
yeah?
cases. There is a man in Brooklyn right now. I'm going to say it again. No charges whatsoever brought. He's been in jail for 3 fucking years.
Fucking years. Who is this guy? Someone tell me who this guy is. Brooklyn. Is this someone who has just been in an administrative detention in America as a citizen for 3 fucking years? Oh shit, we're in trouble. I'll save you. I'll protect. Brooklyn. It's not Tarrio, is it? There's no way. He's gonna do an epic Vosh run. 3 fucking years. Okay. Who is this person in Brooklyn? Brooklyn, J6, 3 years, no trial. Man held for 3 years without trial kills himself. That's in 2015, so it's probably not him. Jan 6. I hope this guy doesn't know that I'm tabbing whilst fighting in hardcore. Jake Lang has been awaiting... Oh, yeah, New York man. Okay, gotcha. This is the guy, Jake Lang. Behind bars for... They know. Nice one. So behind bars for... Don't worry, I'm competent. Behind bars for 1,070 days. Charged with a marathon of violence against the police 3 years ago. I don't regret anything about that day or going into the Capitol, he told the USA Today network. Relatively small pool of defendants who've been held whilst awaiting trial or a plea deal. Out of more than... So he's a small minority, okay. Why is he... So he's the one who's like an exception, first of all. Okay. He was arrested in Newborough 10 days after the melee in Washington, initially set to stand trial last January, 2 years after his arrest. But his trial date got moved twice last year, first to May and then October. Put on hold because of a pending Supreme Court appeal. Wait, did he appeal? Why is he in jail? Out of 350 cases still pending, only 14 are still in custody because of charges related to a list. Okay. Is this because... It's not because he's appealing, right? That can't be it. He's accused of fighting with the police for more than 2 hours. Okay. So he's probably too dangerous to just release. Okay. He was beating officers with a baseball bat. Nice. Poggers. So does he have charges, or... He bragged about his activities on social media. Alarming comments on social media talking about getting the fucking arsenal together for Biden's inauguration. So he's still a threat. So this guy's like exceptional. And it looks like he's appealing his own case. So if you appeal, you're probably going to be held for longer, no? This isn't like without charge. It's not like they have no reason for having him there. He hasn't got 3 years. He's in jail because he's awaiting trial, because he keeps appealing. So this guy did some pretty bad shit, and he's a pretty exceptional case in January 6th. Okay, and he's kind of proved himself to be a danger even after being arrested. I just don't know why the trial's taking so long then. Is that normal? It's apparently not normal, because it's not normal for January 6th protesters.
Sit there and say it is good that he remains locked up is fascism. That is saying the hierarchical system of the courts and the government is just, and the process is all that matters. And I am saying perhaps 3 years is enough, because I actually have moral logic and an understanding of these cases. Hence, my position on January 6th has always been the people have attacked police.
He's postponing it himself. How do you know, though? How do you know he's postponing it himself? I know that he apparently beat the shit out of cops with a baseball bat and fought with them for 2 hours, okay? And bragged about it afterwards, and showed no remorse. So we know why he's exceptional. But how is he postponing it?
Police must go to prison. But 3 years is a fucking long time for assault on an officer. We have seen people on the far left, notably when they were firebombing shit all across Minnesota, 33 people murdered. And how many criminal charges did we get for this? When they firebombed...
Pretty sure we've had thousands of criminal charges for January 6th, no? For BLM riots. No? Was it thousands or was it hundreds? We had a lot. There's one guy who did 3 years or 4 years. No, I think he's still in jail. There's a guy who's still in jail because he put out a fucking social media post saying, there's a riot. Come down, bring books and bring bricks. It'll be fun. Like, and I think he got like 12 likes. Yeah, we set examples with rioting. Also with the murder. Like, yeah, was that all people, was that just all BLM protesters killing people? Or was that people killed by cops? Or was that people killed by... What's the stat there? Just one of the 35 people murdered. Does that count fucking, like, Kyle Rittenhouse's victims? Like, were they murdered according to Tim Pool? No way. Yeah, it was like 10,000 people arrested. Again, they don't give a fuck. They don't care. They don't care.
A police station and forced the police to evacuate. On May 29th, 2020, when thousands of far leftists firebombed the White House grounds and set fire to St. John's Church and injured 100 police officers, how many fucking people went to prison for 3 years? How many of them who never showed up?
Quite a lot, Tim. Quite a lot. Including people who didn't do anything. They just said things. Like, almost like meme level incitement. And people went, yeah. Remember Trump? He complimented Tim Walz for cracking down on them so hard. Fucking Tim Pool, man. Holy fuck. He's mental. He's so mad. He's so upset that he got caught with Russian money. The performative outrage. Yeah, it's that Russian theater money, isn't it? That's like Surkov. They just want to create a theater. That's the whole strategy. It's like what they do in Russia. It's what they do domestically.
On that day are in prison for 20 years. Enrique Tarrio wasn't even in D.C. on January 6th. And you are saying that man who his only...
Enrique Tarrio coordinated the attack. He circulated fucking information about the Capitol building and gave directions to them from away from the building. It's like seditious conspiracy, wasn't it? That's a big crime, Tim.
Crime was, quote, don't leave. That's his only crime. You think he should be in prison for 20 years?
He just said don't leave. Oh my God, he's such a lying fuck. Oh, he's such a liar. Surely Luke knows. Luke knows the answer to this, right? He knows that Tarrio was... This is in the... Is it Jan 6 committee that's about this?
A fascist. You don't care what the facts are. You don't care if this is unjust. You only care that the machine state has...
God, I wish I could see Tim Pool's chat during this. Tim, pop off! Get him! He's already dead! Jesus Christ.
Agreed, you are not to be locked up. And this is the problem I have with the left.
Yeah.
They don't know the facts. They don't care about the facts. They view morality as a blanket government stroke of the pen. And every person, regardless of their crime, should...
What do you mean a government stroke of the pen? We decide criminal justice cases in most countries, I think, by a legal system with trials and judges. And for most jail sentences that people get for most crimes, we just kind of like let it happen. We don't say fucking, oh, I don't know about, like, maybe for mandatory minimums we have problems, or for people jailed in marijuana possession, but for trying to overthrow the government, I don't know. I think we kind of just let the judges and the jury decide on that one, unless obviously it's a coup that you kind of support or are sympathetic to.
Should be in prison for decades. I reject it outright. The people who fought cops should go to prison. They did. It's been 3 years. But when you've got people who are on misdemeanor charges for having walked into a building at 4 p.m. after the riot, and I know some of these people, they walked into a building for 2 minutes and walked out, and they got 18 months for that. I don't see you defending the innocent people who walked onto a public grass at a public building after a riot had been completed. You don't know.
Okay, Tim, then just say you disagree with all forms of rioting-related policing and law enforcement for the last 100 years of like any liberal democracy. Just say you disagree with it. Just say you disagree with the approach that every fucking country takes towards people who engage in like collective mob violence. Wondered. I know it's so innocent. The way he talks about BLM versus the way he talks about fucking January 6th is just, hey, yeah, they just kind of strolled in, you know, like totally innocent. They just happened to walk past the knocked over barricades and the shattered glass and the fucking doors that were knocked open, and past all the screaming and the cops and shit like that. Just be like, I don't know. And look, the door's open. There's a hole in the window. There's a hole where the window should be. No problem.
You don't care.
This is fine.
You've taken a tribal position and people are suffering because of it. Now you say that Donald Trump saying the injustice that we've seen warrants commutation or pardons. You say that means he's advocating for violence. This is the ultimate problem. Then you cite a press release from Maryland saying, but the right's more violent. There is a distinction between a white supremacist as a right-wing group and a run-of-the-mill Christian conservative who showed up on that day not to protest. Let's talk about Brandon Strzok. He never went in the building. He was on the...
All right, let's see. He gets a trial delay as he angles for a Trump pardon. This is the guy, Jake Lang, representing himself, initially busted on January 16, 2021, reluctantly put off the trial. So he got his trial pushed back because he argued that Trump could pardon him. Okay. He delayed his own trial. And he's decided to represent himself and argued to delay his trial. And now Tim Pool is upset that his trial got delayed. Tim, you're so tense. Tim, you're so stupid. Fuck me. He's not stupid. He's this is what? This is the Russian money. That's what it does to your brain. This is all the donos he gets from the fucking angry Trump supporters. It's worth it.
The other side of the building, there was a permitted protest. He walked up the stairs and he was yelling. They put this guy in prison. There is Owen Schroyer, who was at a permitted rally, who was yelling death to communists. They put him in prison and specifically cited his speech. Dude, you don't know what you're talking about. And it's fine. I get it. We try to be polite. We try to be nice. But
we try to be polite. Bro, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Oh my God. It's like, it's so abusive. He's acting like he's the one who's been fucking wronged here when he's just rambling off a bunch of fucking lies. Acting as if someone's saying death to communists. Again, people in BLM got 3, 4, 5-year jail sentences for speech. Not too different from what you just said, Tim. And that's assuming that's all they did. I'm just taking his word for that, even though he's basically bullshitted about Jake Lang and Tarrio. All Tarrio said was don't leave. Is that all he... Fuck me! Oh, God.
But there are so many young liberals who sit here and say, the corporate press told me that these people are bad, and the machine state government has decreed it by pen.
You should look up why he wasn't in D.C. on January 6th. Wasn't it because he was coordinating the fucking riot? Am I wrong? Did I just say that? Is it worse? Why was Tarrio... Was he arrested on January 5th? Conspired... Led the advance, remained in contact with the Proud Boys during their breach. Yeah, because there was the Proud Boys plan. The Proud Boys plan was literally to fucking break down the barricades between the Ellipse and the Capitol building. It was to break down the barricades so that when the people marching from the Ellipse, from Trump's speech to the Capitol building, saw that the barricades had already been pushed down, and that would facilitate them being able to just like direct the mob forwards. Like that was the whole idea. They planned that. They planned that ahead of time. And Tarrio was one of the leading conspirators on that. Yeah. So he was... Okay. Apparently, he was kept from participating at the Capitol riot because he pled guilty to stealing and burning a BLM banner that was hanging from a DC church, and for bringing a gun into the district, a high capacity magazine. So ammunition. And on condition of his release, he was told to stay out of Washington. Okay. So he might have actually gone there.
So I don't care what crime they committed. I don't care what the jury said. I don't care who was on the jury. Enrique Tarrio,
I know you don't, Tim. You don't give a fuck about any of those things.
was not there should be in prison for 2 decades. Tell me this now. Why is Enrique Tarrio in prison?
Yeah, so they uncovered with him
Wait, yes, the
his
answer.
plot to overthrow the
plot?
government.
What plot?
Enrique Tarrio?
Yeah, and his organization.
What plot?
What plot?
Who's they?
Who's they?
Give me some
prosecutors.
Give me some fucking data. Stop squinting at me and saying the prosecutors did a thing. You didn't know. You didn't read it. You didn't read the court.
What data? Why would you bring in data? He's such a fucking debate bro. Oh my god, give me some fucking data. Jesus Christ. This is a debate bro, by the way. This is what a debate bro is. That he's doing this because he's trying to throw Luke off. That's it. He's just speaking to his audience now. He's not actually speaking to Luke Beasley at all. He's speaking to his audience.
Papers. All you know is the fascist machine state told you he should be in prison, and you're saying yes to them. Tell me why. Give me the data.
I understand that laws on the books have been there for a long time that I agree with, that if it's proven that you had a plan and you wanted to act on it, and then days after, the proof is
say the proof.
by prosecutors.
Say it.
Communications between
What communications? What did he say? What did he do?
Is this
Fuck,
serious?
that's a high level.
Are you going to tell me why you think Enrique Tarrio should be in prison for 20 years, or are you going to say the government decreed it?
I just explained to you.
The government decreed it. Oh god, he's so fucking retarded. Bro, these aren't even good lies. This isn't even good lying, bro. Okay, it is. Sorry, it is. Because he's speaking to his audience. And his audience is really stupid. Okay. Fuck me. Am I gonna get killed by mountain lions? Oh no. I did not know these guys were level 32. Get me out of here. The government decreed it. That's not how that works, you... Oh, he knows. He knows. That's fine.
So the government said so. Is that it?
It's usually law
That guy
enforcement,
could kill
which
me.
I guess is part
This
of the
lion
government.
could kill
Government
me.
said so?
Yep. Law
So you can't
enforcement
say why.
that uncovers evidence of communications, a memo that he
Please don't kill me.
crafted and sent to his organization
Yeah.
what?
that
Yeah.
detailed
Saying what?
each
What?
institution of government
What
that
did
they
it
were
say?
going to try to overthrow. Then just days later,
What did it say? What did it say? Paragraph 2, section... Paragraph 2, third sentence. What did it say? Tell me. Tell me what it say.
his organization is at the Capitol.
I don't think we can even pull up Enrique Tarrio.
I'm not quite sure that there's any evidence of that
He's on the...
sort.
He didn't. He's on the Wikipedia. He's on the Wikipedia. Oh no. And now he's gonna interrogate the Wikipedia. He's gonna oh my god. What? He doesn't know. This is the biggest. Remember how we see Hassan saying his shit? Bro, this is so much worse, actually. It's like, this is the biggest political commentator, like streamer. He's the biggest one on YouTube, isn't he? Like the biggest self-employed fucking alt media person. You don't know the facts. Hang on, hold on. Let me get the Wikipedia up there. Oh wait, you actually know things about this trial? He was hoping the guy didn't know. Damn, absolutely fucking annihilated, Tim. Look at him. This is him lost. He's done.
Yeah. You know what? I'll say this.
Yeah, yeah.
The idea
Why
that
is he
Enrique
just...
Tarrio crafted a memo outlining
Yeah.
Okay.
or they
Now he's just making up as he goes along because he's on the...
3 months featured witness evidence featured at Tarrio and co-defense included videos, thousands of messages in encrypted chat groups, as well as a public message on Parler. On or before January 6th, Tarrio convened a Ministry of Self-Defense to coordinate Proud Boys leadership on January 6th. The chat showed that Tarrio, stationed in Baltimore, encouraged the Proud Boys as they attacked the Capitol. Let's figure out what that encouragement was.
He's just doing this on the spot. He has no idea. Now what he's going to do is he's just going to pretend the evidence isn't good enough. That's what he's going to do. He's going to just pretend the evidence isn't good enough. He'll find a way as well. Remember, there's always a way. It doesn't matter how wrong you are. You will find a way. That's how propagandists work. They're like the shamelessness that these guys have. They will always find a way. Guarantee.
They're going to actually say in the article. So here's a citation. Proud Boy and 3 other members of the far-right groups were convicted Thursday in a plot to attack the Capitol. A jury in Washington, D.C. found Tarrio and 3 lieutenants guilty of seditious conspiracy after hearing dozens of witnesses. Jurors cleared a 5th defendant, Dominic Pizzola, on a citizen charge, and a significant milestone of the Justice Department, which is now secured a conspiracy, blah, blah, blah. They will never stop. Okay, that's interesting. Wikipedia asserts that they did this, but there's actually nothing in the news article that actually states that is true. Well, now we got a problem. Let's try this again. Let's try a secondary.
Do you think there are fucking exhibits in a newspaper article about the result of the case? This story is saying that he got found guilty by a jury. That's how you report that. If someone gets found guilty of it, like, I'm sorry, if I find a newspaper article about Ted Bundy found guilty, are they going to present all the fucking exhibits and the blood and the fingertips and everything all in just one headline or one article? What? Yeah, they were convicted. This is showing you that they were convicted, okay? Does he want what does he want? Does he want the exhibits? Does he want the indictment? Why wouldn't you just, okay.
States that is true. Well, now we got a problem.
Oh yeah, we do.
Let's try this again. Let's try
Tim
a second.
Pool is pretending to be media illiterate. He knows that he's just like fucked. He actually just gambled so hard on Luke Beasley not knowing about Enrique Tarrio. Oh shit.
Secondary source. Let's see. There it is.
What's secondary source? What the fuck does that mean? A secondary source? Does he mean another source? What the fuck mean a secondary source? Oh, apparently this article that shows that they were found guilty doesn't actually show you the video of them doing the thing. Like, fuck me. This is the thing. It's the same people who deny October 7th rapes, right? First, it's like no first-hand testimony. Oh, there is. Oh, shit. Well, there's no witness testimony. Okay, well, there is. Oh, shit. Wait, there's no forensics. Oh, no. Okay, there's no... Yeah, because that's normal. It's normal to get forensics. It's normal to swap someone, a fucking corpse, after a massacre in a war. That's normal. That happens all the time. Oh, there's also no video evidence. I can't find it on fucking Pornhub. Like, Jesus Christ. It's the same thing. It's the same, just like constantly elevate the standard of evidence until you get what you want. Thinking secondary equals second. Yeah, maybe. It's secondary source. What the fuck? It sounds smarter though when you say second source. Second source sounds shit. Let's find something else. Let me see. If you wanted to find this out, it's a federal indictment. Is it? It was a federal indictment. Just go to justice.gov, justice.goon. Leader of Proud Boys. This is a press release. Where's the indictment? Look, there it is. 30 pages. Let's find a second thought. Even if I just look, this is him talking about the results, Civil War, da-da-da-da. Oh, he's just, Tim Pool's language. 1776. Encrypted messaging group for leaders to communicate. This is how they carried out the conspiracy. Encouraging people to attend the Stop the Peaceful protests, using websites, social media to raise funds and support travel and equipment purchases. Obtaining paramilitary gear and supplies, including concealed tactical vests, protective equipment, and radio equipment. Okay. Okay, but do they have photographs of them? Do they have videos of them putting on the vests? Oh, fuck. Dismantling barricades, storming past barricades, destroying property. Acts in furtherance of the conspiracy. Encrypted message group. I'm assuming most of the protests will be at the Capitol building, given what's going on inside. Proposed a video chat, da-da-da-da. Second tier leadership, so he's organizing the fucking leadership structure. Yeah, it's all here, Tim. This is what you would look for. If you're upset about if you want a primary source, that's the good one, right? Secondary sources are gay and retarded. Okay, you want they do have videos of them stocking up in a hotel room with guns. Listen, don't worry about that, okay? Don't tell Tim that. Tim doesn't know that, and he will weaponize the fact that he doesn't know that. I'm sorry. Yeah. That's your primary source. That's a fucking federal indictment. Not like this gay, retarded secondary source or threcondary source, which is Wikipedia. That's a threcondary source. You don't like those. They're bad.
evidence that Tarrio discussed with associates a plan to have a large crowd in Washington storm government buildings in a scheme they called 1776 Returns, in which the Winter Palace was used as an apparent code for the U.S. Capitol. In a message, he said, make no mistake, we did this, do what must be done, and he directed the Proud Boys to do it again. So the question then becomes, in the bigger picture,
So are you gonna at all
He's
acknowledge?
just gonna completely wing something now. He's just like, okay. So I was completely fucking wrong about all of that. I was literally screaming at you for not knowing about it, even though I have no fucking idea what this guy did, and I had to learn about it on the spot from Wikipedia. And I have no shame because I just got caught taking fucking $400,000. Was it a month from fucking Russia? Unwittingly, according to me, as a fucking moron, an investigative journalist who just allowed Russian fucking influence to go past me. So all that's just happened. All right, so listen, let me tell you what's what, okay? Like, just not like it's nothing. Fuck me, bro. Go and hide in a closet for the next 40 fucking years, and maybe you'll feel like some of the shame go away. Maybe.
do what must be done, and he directed the Proud Boys to do it again. So the question then becomes, in the bigger picture...
Yeah, Tarrio literally, he was like, fucking... Oh, God. Whatever, let's see what he's saying.
So are you gonna at all acknowledge that you just blew up over something that I was absolutely citing fairly?
I don't think...
Oh, he said that so politely as well.
think you cited it fairly.
I think people should be
think
prosecuted
it's
for engaging in plans to overthrow a government. That's kind of
That's a very loose definition of plans to overthrow the government.
Mate, fucking Undertaker's retarded little fucking dwarf brother over here. Like, you didn't know anything about this either. That's why you're just winging it. Like, yeah, you can read 3 sentences of the Wikipedia and ignore all the other evidence and not read the indictment and say, oh, no, there's no evidence here. Well, yeah, obviously, if you only read 3 fucking sentences, you fucking idiot. Like, come on. Oh, God.
y'all don't seem to be that informed.
Wait, look,
on the-
respectfully, I cover a lot of protests and riots. A lot of people try to...
Yes. Come in after watching your other 3, or is it 2 guys now? Or yeah, watching your fucking 3 buddies get their fucking shit pushed in by a guy who needed a fucking note to get out of gym class just to show up on this podcast. After watching that, just come in and be like, listen, son, let me tell you what's what, okay? as a man of experience here. Come on, what are we gonna say?
protest and riot and occupy government buildings. Do you think that qualifies as trying to, overthrow your government?
Well, if you're doing it to try and keep an incumbent president in power after he lost an election, yeah.
No.
Okay, good. So, I mean...
But if they had a plan to take control of the government, which was this one.
If this was an actual
that
plan, this
a
was
plan?
the leastly...
I know him! I met him! I met him in Florida. This guy. He's a friend of a friend of a friend. Huh. Yeah, he's conservative as fuck. Huh, okay. Nice one. Wait, how many people are on this show with against Luke? It's the guy who Listen Up Son. There's the Undertaker in dwarf form. There's this guy, and there's Tim Pool. So it's at 4. And there's probably the sound guy's gonna chime in as well. And the person who makes the tea and coffee, they're gonna appear in shot. It's like, you sure you brought enough guys?
That's
Really
a plan to take
most
over the government?
ridiculous plan ever. They went after people for having Lego sets of the Capitol. I mean, the level of political prosecution you're...
What the fuck does that? God, why they have so many fucking stories? I don't even need to look this up. Okay, what does that mean? They have Lego sets about breaking into the Capitol. What the fuck does that mean? Yeah, that's like saying like, oh, what threat are these people in the Second World War? They're just playing like a big fucking game of battleships, because that's effectively what they were doing, pushing shit around with sticks on the table, playing fucking board games, when what they're actually doing is trying to coordinate attacks to sink German U-boats. Like, these people are seen as combatants because all they're doing is playing battleships. Like, fuck off. Playing a very elaborate battleships game. For the fuck me. That guy, combatant, he's just got a headset on. Meanwhile, he's giving fucking orders. Like, what? The Lego set was taken as evidence for a guy that fought with the police. Interesting. Like, I'm sorry, if you're stupid enough to if you build the Capitol out of Lego and use it to tell people how to attack the building, for example, that could be part of the crime. Like, it's like, I don't think the Lego set in itself is going to be a particularly important fucking part of the crime, but let's see. Hang on. Lego set Capitol Hill. Eichmann just wrote down some numbers, bro. U.S. Capitol model, Lego model seized from the home of alleged insurrectionists, Robert Moss. Multiple federal charges, one of which is violating the American law, the very well-known one, federal law, actually, of building the Capitol out of Lego. They seized it, helped orchestrate the most intense and prolonged clashes, used his entire body to push against rioters in front of him as the group tried to use the shields to push back officers guarding the door. Morse can be heard calling out, "Hey, everyone with a shield, back up and organize. Make a shield wall. Organize right now and make a shield wall. Where are those fucking shields?" This is playing video games, you know? He just got confused. Bring kit and body armor. Bring assault rifle, pen, paper, water, 4 magazines. Bro, stop! Why are they doing this to me? They're making me... It's so depressing. It's so depressing, these people. Why are they allowed to... How are you able to get up and fucking dress yourself and have these positions? It's mental. And make a job out of it, bro.
Would you even admit that there was some level of politics when it came to the prosecution of the J6ers? Would you say politics?
Oh my God. What, really? The guys who tried to fucking overthrow a governmental process and prevent the peaceful transfer of power because of the result of an election that they didn't like. You don't think that's a kind of a political thing to arrest those people? What? Oh, that guy who murdered a fucking poll booth worker, a polling station worker. You don't think it's a bit political to arrest that person? Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Played a role in this.
Engaging with this as thoughtfully as possible, not trying to grandstand. Of course, often, for very justifiable reasons, prosecutors will try to make an example of someone who, for example, tried to overthrow the government to prevent the peaceful transfer of power. I see why such a thing.
Personally, I reject
categorized as...
Yeah, personally, I don't think that's really what happened. Fuck off, man. Just let the guy... They don't even let him talk. They're just taking turns. They're just taking turns and trying to cut this kid off. It's so fucking grim. And they're still losing. God.
Sedition
to overthrow the government
would be uniquely bad to prosecutors. And political in that this all involved politics, right?
No!
And thus...
I'm sorry, I have to say this.
Sent.
The Wikipedia article making those claims is not citing any actual proof that they said those things.
Oh, that's the last refuge of the fucking broken conspiracy theorist. How do you know? How do you know World War II happened? Tim, there's an indictment, okay? There's a trial. There's him literally admitting to these things. Tim. Oh my God. But is there evidence of the government decreeing it by pen? Okay. Were you there? Were you there? How do you know Joseph Smith didn't communicate with God with the fucking stones? Bub. Maybe you need more secondary sources there, Tim. Oh, what a fucking moron. What a stain on all that is good and holy. What am I doing here, man? What am I doing in this job? I'm trying to think, like, what's a job where I can kind of do this, but like not deal with this? What jobs are on the market, you know? Like what would be preferable to dealing with this shit day in, day out? And watching the amount that these people get rewarded for this fucking shameless behavior. Shining shoes? Quite therapeutic, probably. It's probably quite nice seeing your reflection appear in the dirty shoe. in the once dirty shoe. There's a, and you could do, if you're shining shoes, you can do other shit. You can cut keys. You could be like Mr. Timpson in the little workshop cutting keys. That's probably quite satisfying. Researcher for a syndicate. No. Like go and work for Israeli Intel and give them, actually make reports that have proper citations and hyperlinks instead of just brackets Facebook 2003. Bebo. Hamas Bebo. SDF fighter? Like military intel. Yeah. Yeah, maybe do some yeah, being like an Arab in the British military is probably fucking base, right? Like, I'm sure people love that. What other? I could just become unemployed for a year. Could teach yoga. Go to Ukraine? Yeah, because if I go to Ukraine, I don't know how that's supposed to help me escape the discourse, but actually it could, right? To escape this. Because if I go to Ukraine, like, there's a chance I'll die. There's a chance I'll get drone struck. And, maybe that's maybe that's not as bad as this. I don't know. It would probably hurt for a bit. You want it to be a clean strike. I don't want to get maimed. Fuck that. I want it to be a clean headshot. Bag groceries? Yeah, sounds nice, Bag fills up. Be a sniper. I don't know. Sniping seems... It seems kind of boring, right? Like... A marksman would be quite intense, but if you're like a sniper, you're just sitting there in the fucking woods for days. Like, dressed up as a... But you get to dress up like a tree, right? And if I feel bad about whatever I'm doing, like, if it's like the British military and they're like, oh, go and kill like a bunch of 4-year-olds, like, I'm like, okay, wow, horrible. And steal their land, I'll be like, I'll just pretend to miss, feign some incompetence. I could make beanies.
Because we're harping on these pardons. Pardons are obviously an interesting political, constitutional quirk that presidents are able to do that. It really does undermine the law in our country. But Biden's getting a lot of pushback for clemency that he granted for the Cash for Kids judge who was responsible for sending something like 2,000 children into a Pennsylvania jail, a private prison that he was getting kickbacks for. Do you think that was worse than any pardon Donald Trump could give?
There's a power vacuum in Lebanon right now. Hezbollah are gone. There's maybe something you can do with that, right? Go in and become a tyrant, like King of Lebanon. Yeah. Monarchies are stable in the Middle East. They're more stable than republics or secular dictatorships, whatever you call them. They become a Shia.
Give to any January 6th rider?
What?
Have you heard of this judge that Joe Biden granted clemency for? A judge who was responsible for sending thousands of teenagers to prison for, otherwise misdemeanor charges while he was getting kickbacks for. Joe Biden was getting a lot of pushback for this because
I've been agreeing with a lot.
So have you heard?
I'm not going to
make this guy specifically.
I've heard of that, but I'm not as read in on it as I should be to speak on it. But
I wonder if
I was more focused on
the individual stories that these guys get interested in is so fucking bizarre. Enrique Tarrio, like one of the highest profile fucking arrestees of the January 6th protests, one of the leading figures. Now, we don't really care about what he did, We're just going to assume that he was put in, he's doing 22 years for a tweet or something. Sure. But meanwhile... Oh, God.
on just because it was the big story and I wanted to, again, advocate principle, his Hunter Biden pardon, which has been the topic of discussion pardon-wise for us mostly.
Yeah, it was funny because you were telling us a little bit pre-show that you actually had a first-hand experience with Hunter Biden. I don't know, can you tell us anything about your experience firsthand with
just at the holiday
and the
party.
myth, the legend? Yeah?
Yeah, I knew somebody at the White House who invited me to the White House party, the holiday party. Hunter Biden was there. I found it kind of strange.
I feel like
what was it? I'm sorry. What was his reception?
Right, dude. Who cares? There's that saying that if you're not liberal when you're young, you have no heart, and if you're not conservative when you're old, you have no head. But the interesting thing about
Wow, well done, Tim. And what happens? Which vital organ are you missing when you accidentally take $400,000 a month from fucking Russia to do propaganda, whilst screaming at a fucking child with 5 guys on your side in the same room about one of the highest profile cases of January 6th and getting exposed for having no fucking idea about what happened and who was in, and what they did, despite you being the one bringing it up, Tim, after just being caught having to scour through Wikipedia and cling on to fucking straws. What vital organ is missing there?
it is like what we define as conservative or liberal are amorphous, right? So like, what does it mean to be conservative? Who wants to try and explain what conservative
God,
is?
it's so okay. Wow. If you don't mind, let's just escape this Enrique Tarrio January 6th discussion as quickly as possible, because I just made myself look like a fucking moron in front of all my friends and my fans. God. And had to resort to saying, well, the Wikipedia doesn't actually show that this happened. Oh, God. I can't, man. I just can't with this man. I don't want to hear these 4, 5, however many guys there are in this defeat the 21-year-old in a politics discussion squad whilst we run one of the biggest fucking political media channels on the planet. I don't want to watch these guys fucking autofillate about what it means to be a conservative or a liberal. I don't know. I don't need that in my life. The people in the comments believe that Tim schooled him. Yeah, I know. That's the thing. I know. It's like it's a mess. It's all just because they probably just were so fucking elated. They were so high on fumes. Their balls were ready to fucking implode with a fucking cum build-up because they were watching Tim shout at that guy saying, "You don't know the facts," even though and then by the time it turned out that Tim didn't know the facts, they were probably just like on such a come down that they fell asleep. So, show me some fucking data. God, I love it when Tim says, "Show me some fucking data," when he has no idea what he's talking about. It's really funny. Give me some fucking numbers. This guy whacked a cop with a baseball bat. All right, show me the fucking stats.